Hello, welcome to 30k channel, I'm your host David. In this game we've got 1,000 points of Iron Hands versus Demons of the Ruinstorm battling over an outpost. Yep, it's just me in this one. Andrew is here, but he's somewhere on the internet at the end of a Zoom call. So what we've done for this game is we've set up an iPad that gives Andrew a really good field of view over the battlefield, and then I will roll his dice as before, but he will direct me tactically about where he wants to go and who wants to attack and charge and assault and whatever. So again, this is not ideal doing this way. From my point of view, it's hugely stressful. And it's certainly not what I envisaged for the future of the channel. However, some of you may not be aware, but New Zealand is currently in lockdown, and I'm just trying to get content out for you just to keep you going until the good times come back again. So you'll have to just bear with us for a little bit longer. We do have some stuff in the pipeline, but again, we're just restricted from materials and obviously being together and putting all these elements together. So just bear with us. All right, that's the PSA over and done with. What have we got for this game? I have built a really cool little outpost around a kind of a rocky crag, and I've used the platforms from Necromunda, and I've cut down the stanchions and built a lovely little board with some sand and some pipelines and stuff. So I have done a board build video for this game, so go back and watch that if you want to see how I built the board. It is so easy, I promise you, and it looks fantastic. On to the game. Andrew is commanding the Demons of the Ruinstorm, and I'm commanding the Iron Hands. Looking forward to this one. It's going to be a really, really tricky game, I think. The Demons have got a lot of numbers and a lot of wounds, but the Iron Hands have some absolute fantastic staying power in those Immortals with their Feel No Pain, and they're supported by a Tooled Up Praetor and a Contemptor Dreadnought. So some good shooting and some good assault ability there in the Iron Hands. If we look at the Demons, I was surprised actually Andrew Lizzie, he didn't go full tilt with them, which is really good. So there's only one unit with Rending, Flensing Talons, or Shred rather, with Flensing Talons. Everything else has been given the tools to get up and around that structure. So move through cover, and also there's a rule there, Quicksilver, I believe, which they don't suffer any penalties for charging through combat. So really good there. So we're interesting to see about the deployment. Now we've done all the rolls off camera, and Andrew won the roll off to deploy first, go first, and he sensibly chose the structure. It would have been awesome if the Iron Hands could have gone in the center of the structure, because I think it would have made it a little bit harder for the Demons to assault, even with their benefits. But they've pushed the Iron Hands out, so we can only assume that the Demons ripped into reality around the structure, slaughtered all of the workers or the inhabitants, and the Iron Hands have been called in to try and take care of the demonic threat. So I think it's going to be a really tricky little game, but I am really looking forward to it. I love playing against or with the Demons. They're such an unpredictable force, and as we all know, they're really tough on the first couple of turns. They level out for 2 turns, and then they progressively get weaker over the last 2 turns. So really looking forward to this one. If we have a quick look at the mission, we're playing Shatter Strike with the ambush deployment, which kind of makes sense because one person, or one faction rather, is having control of the structure, and then the force is coming on outside. So Shatter Strike, you've just got to get a scoring or denial unit into your enemy's deployment zone. There are secondaries for Slay the Warlord and Attrition. The Demons did have an option to go for something called End of Days, which they can replace the primary objective for this one, and essentially means they get +1 victory point for each unit destroyed on top of Attrition and Warlord. So a couple of units are worth 2 points. However, it makes sense for the Demons to play to the mission because there's a lot more points up for grabs. Plus, the Demons have got a load of troops choices, which means they get 2 points per scoring unit into the enemy's deployment zone. So it absolutely made sense for Andrew to choose the primary rather than going for the Demon specific option. We know from the past that these games get hot and heavy real quick, so it's going to be really interesting to see if the Iron Hands can make an impression onto those Demons. All right, that's enough of me waffling on. Let's have a look at the armies, and then we'll go straight into Demons turn 1. Leading the defense of the outpost for the Iron Hands is a Praetor equipped in Cataphractii Terminator armor. He's equipped with a Volkite Charger, a Paragon Blade, digital lasers, and a Cyber Familiar. Elite's choice is a Contemptor Dreadnought equipped with a Chain Fist with inbuilt Melter Gun, an Assault Cannon, has been upgraded to take extra armor, and Blessed Auto Simulacra. The two troops choices are identical. There are 11 Iron Hands Immortals. 2 of those Immortals are equipped with Melter Guns, the rest have Volkite Chargers. The Sergeant is equipped with Artificer Armor, a Breaching Charge, and Melter Bombs.
HQ for the Demons of Ruinstorm is the Ruinstorm Demon Chosen. He's been blessed with the following animations of horror: Flimsy Talons, Crushing Claws, and Warp Scale Hide, which confer Shred, Rending, and a 3+ armor save. Single elite choice is a Ruinstorm Demon Brute Squad with 4 Demon Brutes with the following animations of horror, which is Quicksilver Speed and Sundering Fang, conferring a smash attack and giving them fleet and move through cover. First troop choice is Ruinstorm Lesser Demons with 11 Lesser Demons with Ephemeral Terror and Molten Blood animations of horror. Second troop choice is Ruinstorm Lesser Demons equipped the same as the first. Ephemeral Terror allows the demons to charge through terrain without suffering a penalty against their initiative. Molten Blood. Whenever a model with this special rule suffers an unsaved wound, any enemy units locked in combat with it suffers a single strength of the user, in this case the demon, AP-hit. Third troop choice is Ruinstorm Lesser Demons, 6 strong with Demonic Wings and Bone Shard Harpoons, which allow them to make jump pack moves and give them a 12-inch shooting attack. Final troop choice, Ruinstorm Lesser Demons, 6 strong with Demonic Wings and Flensing Talons, which confer jump pack moves and shred. Demons of the Ruinstorm, Turn 1. The Chosen with a unit of Lesser Demons and a unit of Brute have emerged from a rift marker closest to the Iron Hand's main force, while a second unit of Lesser Demons have emerged to challenge the secondary force deployed by the Iron Hands. All units have elected to stay stationary to maximize the reroll and vulnerable saves. And no further actions from the demons this turn.
Iron Hand's turn 1 movement. With the impending threat from the demons, the Contemptor has advanced towards those brutes and will hopefully take one out and then charge them in the assault phase. The Praetor and his attached unit of Immortals are going to ignore the lesser demons in front of them and try and get rid of the brutes this turn. It's a massive ask, but they're going to give it a try. And then finally, this unit of Immortals at the back here have advanced forward 6 inches, will pour their firepower into those lesser demons and hopefully banish them from the battlefield. Iron Hand's turn 1 shooting. Starting with the Contemptor, it fires 6 shots from its Carrier's Pattern Assault Cannon into those brutes, requiring 2s to hit. That is 1 miss so far, so not too bad. They're Strength 6, Toughness 7. The brutes are a little bit tougher and requiring 5s to wound. That is only 1 wound. The demons have a 5-up rerollable invuln due to the Warp Rift marker. A 6 is rolled, they are fine. Finally, a Melter Gun, which does hit. Good stuff. 3s to wound. That is a 1. That is no damage. The Immortal unit will help out the Contemptor, firing into those brutes. Probably not the best decision, but if we lose that Contemptor early, then it's going to be game over quite quickly. So we're going to fire into the brutes with 9 Volkite Chargers from the Immortals, requiring 3s to hit. Not amazing. So dropping 2, 4, 6, 8 shots. And now they require 6s to wound. That's not bad. That is 3 wounds. The brutes do get a 4+ armor save, which 2 have passed, and they take 1 wound. Next to fire is 2 Melter Guns. That is only 1 hit, and they require a 3 to wound. Strength 8, Toughness 7. That is a 6. Good stuff. We go on to the Invulnerable save, which is also rerollable for the brutes. That is a 2 and a 5. That is passed. Lovely. The Praetor will fire his Volkite Charger. Hits on 2s. Requires 6s. That is 1/6. Lovely stuff. 4-up armor save from the brute. That is a 3, and that is a wound taken. There are also 2 deflagrates to take, which will wound on 6s. Oh, would have been nice. No more wounds. The other unit of mortals will fire their Volkite charges into the lesser demons directly in front of them. There are 9 with Volkite charges, 18 shots requiring 3s to hit. That's better than the last one. So we dropped 5 hits so far, and they are toughness 5 at the moment. So 4s to wound. Oh, that was an absolutely terrible roll. So there's only 4 wounds there, which is pretty bad. The lesser demons have a 4 up armor save, which unbelievably, 3 have been passed, 1 fail, and they take 1 wound. And now we have a deflagrate of 4+, which we pass, 4 up armor. That has failed, and that kills 1 demon. There are also 2 melter guns in the squad requiring 3s, only 1 hit. 2s to wound, lovely. And now we get a 5 up demon save that is rerollable. That is a 4 and a 1. Okay, so that is 1 more wound put on one of those demons. Iron Hand's turn 1 assault phase. The Contemptor easily made its 3-inch charge into the brutes. At initiative 10, there's a Hammer of Wrath requiring a 4 to wound, which it does. The brutes have a 4 up armor save, which is failed, and that will put 1 wound on the closest brute. At initiative 4, the Contemptor strikes with 4 attacks requiring 3s to hit. Not bad, that is 3 hits. Strength 10, 2s to wound. Oh, that is 2 wounds. 5 up invulnerables to take. These are rerollable, so none passed. 5 ups, 1 went out the dice tray. Let's reroll that one. Oh wow, that is a 1 and a 2. That is 2 wounds caused, and that kills 1 of the brutes. Striking initiative 1, the brutes are using their Sundering Fangs, which means they get 1 attack at initiative 1, at double their strength, and get Sundering. So they require 4s to hit. Well, 1 is a cock dice, we're going to have to re-roll that. But that is 3 hits, which is great. So we need 3s to glance, 4s to pen. Oh wow, we get 1 pen and a 1 and a 2, and now we need to re-roll these, thanks to Sunder. Oh wowzers. Okay, so that is 3 penetrating hits. The Contemptor is in trouble, but the Contemptor gets 6s in combat. Oh, saves 1, unbelievably. So it's taken 2 whole points, and we'll roll on the damage chart to see what happens. Okay, 1's a 6 and a 2, so it's immobilized and shaken. End of turn 1 for the Iron Hands. The Contemptor has an opportunity to repair its hull point thanks to Blessed Auto Simulacra, and requires a 6 to do so. Oh, that is a 2. That is not happening. End of turn 1 for the Iron Hands. Not amazing. The shooting didn't go that well, and the inability to pull down those brutes has really caused the Contemptor some problems. There is a chance that it's not long for this world. Other than that, the other 2 units of Immortals are braced for a charge, and hopefully some overwatch against those lesser demons.
Demons of the Ruinstorm turn 2 movement. Both reserve rolls were successful, and the lesser demons came on. The first unit advanced behind the Contemptor Dreadnought to support the brutes. In the center, we had the lesser demons of the Chosen move up towards the Immortals with the Praetor to challenge them. And then finally, the last 2 lesser demons had advanced to assault and contain the second unit of Medusan Immortals. The winged lesser demons that emerged from the Warp Rift closest to containers have run a further 1 inch around the flank.
Demons of the Ruinstorm turn 2 assault phase. The lesser demons by the containers are charging into the Iron Hands Immortals. However, they do get to overwatch with their Volkite charges. 19 shots requiring 6s. That is not a good roll. There is only 2 hits out of all those, and they require 4s to wound. Not bad though, that is 1 wound, and there's a 4 up armor save, which has been failed, and a wound has been taken. There are also 2 melter guns in the squad. They require 6s. Wow, that is a double 6. Unbelievable. And require 2s to wound. And that is a double 1. It comes and goes. After losing 1 wound to Overwatch and 1 lesser demon, the demons easily make it in with a 4-inch charge. Striking initiative 4, the lesser demons have 18 attacks into those immortals. They don't get the +1 for charging because they've charged a unit with boarding shields, and they require 4s to hit. Oof, that is not an amazing roll. So what have we got? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is only 8 hits so far, which is a little bit unfortunate. They are strength 5, toughness 4, and they require 3s to wound. Not bad. So 2, 4, that is 6 wounds onto those immortals. 3+ armor save for those immortals. Wow, that's pretty good. Only 2 failed. The rest were 5s and 6s. And now we need 2 5-up feel no pain. 1 has passed. 1's out the dice tray. Oh, and that is 1 wound, and that kills 1 immortal. Also striking back at initiative 4, there are 12 attacks from the immortals, requiring 4s to hit. Pretty average. That is only 4 hits. And the demons are toughness 5, so 5s to wound. Oh, that is absolutely nothing. What a shame. Unfortunately, the immortals have lost combat and require a leadership test of 8 or under. Fingers crossed. Thankfully, that is a 4 and they hold in combat. Moving on to the combat with the lesser demons and the chosen against the Praetor and the immortals, the demon units easily made their charge with a 6-inch charge. At the start of the combat, the Praetor issued a challenge to the chosen, which was accepted. Now we move on to initiative 5, and the Praetor has 5 attacks at weapon skill 6 into the chosen. 3s to hit the chosen in combat. That is not a bad roll. That is 4 hits. Thanks to the Paragon Blade, the Praetor will wound on 4s and instant death on 6s. Okay, so that is 2 4s and an instant death. The demon will try to take the instant death on its invulnerable save of 5+, which has failed, and that kills the chosen outright. The 2 additional wounds from the Praetor spill out into the squads, 5 up for their invulnerable saves, and they are both failed, and that will kill one of those lesser demons. At initiative 4, both units pile into each other, with the demons striking first. 20 attacks from the lesser demons, requiring 4s to hit the immortals. Not bad. 2, 4, 6, 8 hits. And require 3s to wound, being strength 5. That is a fantastic roll. There is 2, 4, 6, 7 wounds for the immortals to take. 3 up armor saves for the immortals. Wow, that is a great roll. Only dropping 1. They do get feel no pain 5+, and that has passed. Unbelievable. Also striking back at initiative 4, the immortals have 12 attacks, requiring 4s to hit. That is a pretty good roll from the immortals. So 2, 4, 6, 7 hits, and they are strength 4, toughness 5, requiring 5s to wound. Wow, not a bad roll. That is 4 wounds caused on those lesser demons. 4 up armor save required. That is not bad. Only passing 2, so that kills 1.5 demons. The demons have lost the combat by 8. They are only leadership 7 though. However, double 1 will still keep them in the fight if required, and that is a 6. The unit now has to roll on the Ruinstorm Perils of the Warp table. Ooh, and that is a 5. The tide's becalmed. This means that the unit loses D3 wounds, and that is a 1, so that will kill one of those demons with 1 wound on him already. Finally, the last thing to do in this combat is the Warlord had the Imitable Reclusion special rule as its Warlord trait, and on a 6, he goes back into ongoing reserves at full health. Oh, thankfully, that's a 1. Moving on to the combat between the Brutes and the Contemptor. They both strike at the same initiative, but the Brutes will go first, being their turn. There is 9 attacks and require 4s to hit. That is a really good attack there. Only dropping 3. They are attacking the rear arm of that Contemptor, which is 10, with their strength of 7. They require 3s to glance and 4s to pen. Ooh, not too bad. Only dropping 2, so there is 2 glance and 2 pens. It's a tough ask, but the Contemptor requires 6s. Oh, not too bad. Only 1 was passed and 3 was failed. So the Contemptor has been destroyed, or has been wrecked rather, but he will get to strike before he's brought down by those Brutes. So Contemptor strikes out with 2 attacks requiring 3s to hit. That is 1 hit, 2s to wound. That is a wound. Now, there is a brute with 1 wound remaining. However, he gets a 5-up invulnerable that is rerollable thanks to the warp rift marker, and that has been passed. Great stuff. After winning the combat, the brutes will consolidate a mighty 4 inches.
End of turn 2 for Demons of the Ruinstorm. Overall, a bit of a mixed bag this turn. Losing the Chosen to the Praetor was obviously a blow, but the brutes beating the Dreadnought in close combat has balanced things out. And now we've got units advancing into the flanks of the Iron Hands to put more pressure on them.
Iron Hands turn 2. With no movement or shooting, as both units are locked up in combat, we go straight on to the assault phase, starting over by the containers. Striking at initiative 4, there are 11 attacks from the Immortals into the Demons, and they require 4s to hit. Now that is not a bad roll. There is only 4 failed to hit rolls. The Immortals are strength 4, Demons are still toughness 5 and require 5s to wound. Oh, that is absolutely shocking. That is all cock dice, I'll take that. No, and that is no wounds dealt to those Demons. That is unlucky. Also striking at initiative 4 are the Demons. There are 18 attacks going back into the Immortals requiring 4s to hit. Not amazing really. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That is 11 misses in total. They are, however, strength 5 and require 3s to wound. That's a really good roll. So we've got 2, 4, 6 wounds dealt to those Immortals. 3-up armor required from those Immortals. They fail 1 and require a feel no pain. 5+, and that is failed, and that kills an Immortal. The Immortals have lost the combat. They are leadership 9, -1, and they require 8 or less to stay in the fight. That is a 7. Great stuff. Moving on to the combat between the Immortals, the Praetor, and the Lesser Demons. A fear check was passed, and we go straight on to the Praetor initiative 5 with 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. That is a really good start. Only dropping 1. He is strength 5, toughness 5, 6s are instant death, 4s. Wow, look at that. Okay, so that is 2 instant death and 1 wound. Starting with the 2 instant deaths, there's 5-ups. 1 pass, 1 fail, so 1 demon is killed. And finally, one of those demons needs a 5-up. And he passes. Great stuff. At initiative 4, the Immortals will go in with their 12 attacks into the demons, requiring 4s to hit. That is an amazing amount of 6s. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits, which is much better than last time. And they require 5s to wound. Not too bad, scoring 2 wounds. 2 4-up armor saves from those demons. Oh, 1 pass, 1 fail, only 1 wound suffered. The Lesser Demons will also attack back with their 14 attacks, requiring 4s to hit. Loads of 6s on this one, so we've got 4, 5, 6 hits, which is pretty reasonable. Now they require 3s to wound. Oh, geez. All right, dropping 2, that is 4 wounds dealt to the Immortals. 3+ armor save. Oh, look at that, and they have all passed. Due to molten blood, 3 wounds were caused against the demons. Therefore, that blood spills out onto the Immortals and potentially can wound 3 of them on 3s. Only wounds 1, and they require a 3-up armor save. Oh, it's failed, but we do get a feel no pain. Oh, and that is passed. Brilliant. The demons have lost that combat by 3, and they require a 4 or less. Unfortunately, they have failed. Now we roll on the perils, the Demonstorm perils of the warp table. Out of the dice trade. Tension is so high here. Very exciting stuff. Oh, and that's a 6. That is a warp bloom, and that increases the demon's weapon skill, ballistic skill, and initiative to +1 until the end of the next turn, which is a great boon. End of turn 2 for the Iron Hands. Not a bad turn. The Immortals are proving their worth, and the Praetor is putting some fantastic work into those demons. However, it will probably not be enough, as we feel that the brutes and the winged demons from both sides of the battlefield will now join the combat and swamp the Immortals. Can they last a couple more turns?
Demons of the Ruinstorm turn 3 movement phase. The brutes and the winged lesser demons advance to support the demons against the Praetor and the Medusan Immortals. Around the top, the winged lesser demons pass their difficult terrain which makes them dangerous, and moved into a flanking position to assault the other Medusan Immortals.
Demons of the Ruinstorm, turn 3 assault phase. The winged lesser demons made their charge of 3 inches with a huge 10-inch charge and barreled into the back of those Immortals. Starting at initiative 4, the lesser demons that are already engaged with the Immortals strike out with 18 attacks requiring 4s to hit. That is not a bad roll. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hits. They are no longer strength 5, so they're down to their normal base strength of 4, so require 4s to wound. 7 wounds dealt out by those demons, so we now require 3-ups for the Immortals. Failed 2, and there are 2 feel no pains. Double 6 would be nice right now. 1 6, and that kills one of those Immortals, but they will get to strike before he falls. The second unit of demons will also attack. They get their +1 for charging because the unit was already locked in combat, and they also have 18 attacks and required 4s. Not amazing this time round. 2, 4, 6, only 8 hits out of that, so not too good. They require 4s to wound. Oh, wowzers. Okay, so only 2 wounds caused there. Jeez. 3-up armor save from those Immortals. 1 is cocked and 1 passed. Oh, and that is a pass. Lovely stuff. Also striking initiative 4, the Sergeant with his Breacher charge is going to be very brave and try and plant it onto the front of the demons in front of him. He does need to hit, however, and requires a 4 to do so. Unbelievably, that is a 6, and that does hit. That clips 5 demons and requires 2s to wound. Oh, that is 4 wounds. So we go to the demon save and require 5s. Oh my word. All of them have failed, so 4 demons are insta-killed and wiped from the battlefield. The rest of the Immortals will now strike against the demons they were locked in combat with from the previous turn. 9 attacks, requiring 4s to hit. Not too bad. There was only 4 hits there, and they are down to toughness 4, so 4s to wound. Unbelievably, no wounds scored, and that is the end of the Iron Hands. The demons have lost the combat, so both units will need to take a leadership test. The winged demons will need to take a leadership on a 4 or less, and have failed. And the others, oh, they failed on a double 6. That is a bit spectacular. Rolling on the Perils of Warp table for the winged demons, they score a 3, which means they lose D3 automatic wounds. That's a 4, that's 2 wounds, and that will kill one of those demons. And the other demons on foot have rolled a 6, fantastic. So they get +1 weapon skill, ballistic skill, and initiative until the end of their next turn. Moving on to the other combat, the brutes have declared their charge and have made it with a 10-inch charge. The winged lesser demons required a 6 to make contact with the Immortals. Unfortunately, they rolled a 5 and have failed to make contact. Starting at initiative 5 with the lesser demons, thanks to the Perils of the Warp table, they will attack in with 14 attacks. The Immortals failed their fear check, unfortunately, and are reduced to weapon skill 1. The demons require 3s to hit. That is a cocked dice. It doesn't matter. There's quite a few 1s in there, unfortunately. 2, 4, 6 hits and require 3s to wound because, again, they're boosted by the strength from the Perils of the Warp table. Correction, they require 4s, not 3s, so that is 3 wounds dealt to the Immortals. 3-up armor saves. Oh, pass. 2, fail 1. 5-up, feel no pain. That is failed, and that kills 1 Immortal. Next strike initiative 5 is the Praetor. He has 5 attacks, requiring 5s to hit. Oh, 1 hit, it's not too bad, and 3s to wound. Out of the dice tray. Oh, it's a 1. That is so unlucky. At initiative 4, the brutes will attack back with 12 attacks, requiring 3s. That is not bad at all. 3, 6, 8 hits, which is pretty good. And strength 6, toughness 4, 2s to wound. The Immortals have got some work to do here. 1 failed. 7 3-up armor saves to take. Oh, that has got to be one of the worst rolls in history. Only 1 was passed, and now we need 5s for Feel No Pain. Okay, not too bad. Pull 2 back on the Feel No Pain, but that does kill 4 immortals. However, they will get to strike. The Sergeant is the 4th model in line to be killed, so we need to do a Lookout Sir for him and require a 4+, and that is passed, and that will kill a standard immortal. At initiative 4, the immortals will attack, requiring 5s to hit. That is a pretty good roll considering, so that's 3 hits. And 4s to wound, that is 1 wound. And we need a 4-up armor save from those demons, and that is passed. Nervous moment as the Immortal Sergeant steps up with his breaching charge. Does require a 5 to hit. If we don't use it now, we'll probably never get to use it. Oh, and it's a 6. Unbelievable. All right, it will clip 3 of those demons. 2s to wound. 1-1. Unbelievable. Hopefully we can insta-kill these. So it's 5-up invulnerable. And only 1 demon dies outright. Molten Blood comes into play here. So wounding on 4s, 2 wounds. And both of those have failed. The Immortals have lost the combat by a difference of 2. We've got a leadership at 10, requiring an 8 or under. Oh, nervous moment, and that is exactly 8. The combat will continue. Quickly moving back to this combat and the Molten Blood, the rolls were done off camera and no additional wounds were caused.
In the turn 3 for Demons and Ruinstorm, the assault down the bottom went as well as I expected. Kind of hoped I can break those Immortals, but they're stuck in there and they are tenacious. But at the top, the breaching charge, unfortunately, it's the undoing of the demons. Very lucky to stay in that combat, but another round or 2 and we should be fine.
Iron Hand's turn 3 movement. There is no movement and no shooting as both units are locked up in combat. Let's hope that the Immortals can make another good round of combat here and strike down some demons. Iron Hand's turn 3 assault phase, starting in the combat up by the containers. The Immortals have passed their fear check. And we move on to initiative 5 with the demons on foot. And they have 10 attacks requiring 3s to hit. That is not a bad roll. Only dropping 2 there. They are strength 4 and require 4s to wound. Again, another great roll. And that is 5 wounds dealt to those Immortals. There are 2 Immortals before the Sergeant. So we'll do these first. So 3-up armor saves. Pass 1, fail 1. Feel no pain. Fail, and that will kill an Immortal. Now 1 more before we get to the Sergeant. So we'll do these individually. Fail, feel no pain, failed also. Now we're on to the Artificer armor of the Sergeant. Again, we'll do these individually. 2-up, that is passed, and the second. Oh, it's a 1. We do need a feel no pain to keep him in the fight though. Out of the dice tray. Oh, and that's failed, and the Sergeant has been killed. Striking at initiative 4, the Winged Demons will strike out with 10 attacks. They require 4s to hit. Not a bad roll. 3, 4 so far. Cock dice. No, just 4 hits. 4s to wound. That's not too bad. 2 wounds. 3-up armor saves. Oh, thankfully that has been passed. The Immortals will attack the demons in front of them, requiring 4s to hit. Terrible. Only 2 hits. And 4s to win. That is a double 6. Good stuff. Okay, there is 2 4-up armor saves to take. Ooh, 1 pass, 1 fail, and that is 1 wound caused. There is 1 Molten Blood to resolve, and that will wound an Immortal on a 4+, and that's a 3, so no wound caused. The Immortals have lost the combat once again, and no Sergeant in the squad, so they require 6 or less. Oh, that is a cocked dice, but we've got a 3 so far, and a 6, which is a 9. They have failed their leadership test. Rolling for the initiative for the Immortals, they've rolled a 1, which is a 5. That will not beat the base score of the Demons with initiative 5, and those Immortals have been swept in combat. After winning the combat, the effort clearly took it out of both the Demon units as they only consolidated 1 inch. Moving on to the last combat, again, the Immortals will need to take a fear check of 10 or under, and thankfully that has passed on a 3. At initiative 5, the Praetor will attack with 5 attacks into the lesser demons, requiring 3s to hit. That is a shocking roll of only 2 hits, And the Praetor requires 3s to wound, 6s are instant death. That is only 1 wound, and the demon will need a 5-up demon save, which was failed and a wound caused. That will kill 1 wounded demon. 6 attacks back from the Immortals, requiring 4s. That is not a bad roll. 4 hits, 4s to wound. Lovely, 3 wounds. 3 up armor from the demons. Oh, they are all passed on a 555. Striking back at initiative 4, the lesser demons have 10 attacks into the Immortals and require 4s to hit. 2, 4, 6 hits, which is pretty respectable. And require 4s to wound. Oh, jeez. All right, only 2 wounds caused there. The Immortals have a 3-up armor. Oh, 1 pass, 1 fail. Feel no pain. Out of the dice tray. Oh, and that is failed. The Brutes will also attack into the back of those Immortals. There are 9 attacks, requiring 4s. Not amazing. There's only 3 hits there, but need 2s to wound, being strength 6. That is 3 wounds. Those wounds slam into the Sergeant with his Artificer armor, so 2 up required. He fails the armor save, needs a 5-up Feel No Pain, which has also failed, killing the Sergeant. 2 wounds go onto the Praetor, and both have been passed. Before the combat ends, there is 1 Molten Bud to resolve on a 4+, and that has failed. Unfortunately, the Iron Hands have lost combat once again, and they require leadership of 9 or under. Oof, thankfully, they have passed on a 6. End of turn 3 for the Iron Hands. Not an amazing round. Losing to a sweep and advance on this side of the board with those Immortals has not been good. That has left the 2 units there to move into the battle sphere or to start claiming the objective. However, the Praetor has done a great job by holding out. It's just unfortunate that he only managed to take 1 wound off those demons.
Demons of the Ruinstorm turn 4 movement. With the success of the combat at the top, the winged lesser demons will be advancing down towards the combat to help out and take out the Praetor, while the lesser demons on foot will advance towards the board edge. Down the bottom, the lesser winged demons that are not in combat will be advancing towards the combat to charge in the assault phase.
Demons of the Ruinstorm, turn 4, shooting phase. With no shooting to complete, the winged demons by the pipeline there will run forward 4 inches. Demons of the Ruinstorm, turn 4, assault phase. The winged demons maneuvered into position in the movement phase and have made a 6-inch charge into the back of the Immortals. Striking at initiative 5, the Praetor goes first and attacks into the lesser demons with his 5 attacks, requiring 3s to hit. Not bad, only dropped 2, and his strength 5, toughness 4, 3s to wound, 6s are instant death. There is no instant death, it's just 2 wounds, and those demons need to take 2 demon saves of 5+. Oh, 1 pass, 1 fail, that is 1 wound dealt. Striking initiative 4, the lesser demons on foot will go into the Immortal squad, and there are 10 attacks requiring 4s. That is 4 hits, not too bad. Plenty of 1s and 2s in there. And then they require 4s to wound. Oh, wow, okay, only 2 wounds caused on those Immortals. 3 up armor saves. Oh, that is a double 1. Need a double 6 to balance it out now. We get 1 6, 1's out of the dice tray. Oh, and a 4. Okay, so 1 Immortal falls. 18 attacks come in from the winged demons, and they require 4s to hit. Wow, that is not very good at all. So 2, 4, 6, 7 hits. Wow, that is a lot of 1, 2s and 3s. Required 4s to wound, but they do have Flensing Talons, which is needed because there was only 1 wound there, and that causes shred. Oof, doesn't really help that much, and that is 3 wounds dealt out to those Immortals. 3 up armor saves, and they have all been passed. Great stuff. Finally, for the demons, the Brutes will strike with their 9 attacks, requiring 4s to hit. That is an absolutely fantastic roll, only dropping 1, and they are strength 6, 2s to wound. To balance it out, there is 3 1s, so 2, 4, 5 wounds on those Immortals. The Praetor is the closest model, so we're going to go with the Praetor. and he has a 2-up armor save, 3 passed rather, and the remaining 2 have all been passed. 4, 5, and 6s. Lovely stuff. 4 attacks at initiative 4 from the Immortals into the Demons on foot, requiring 4s to hit. That is a pretty good round of hits there. 3 hits, 4s to wound. 2 wounds, we'll take that. 4-up armor saves, 1 pass, 1 fail, and that will strip a wound off one of those demons, killing it. There is 2 Molten Blood to resolve, wounding on 4s. That is 1 wound, 3-up armor save. That is a 2-up, and we require a 6 to wound, 6 feel no pain. It flashed a 6, failed. That kills an Immortal. Correction, 5-up feel no pain, but was still failed. At the end of that combat, it's a draw.
In the turn 4 for Demons of the Ruinstorm. Bit disappointed. I was hoping that with the lesser demons charging in, with the brutes, the way of numbers, I will have more casualties caused on Iron Hands than caused in the fleet. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. At the top end, happy with how it's gone, but I was hoping I'll get a little bit of better run with the lesser demons coming towards the combat.
Iron Hands turn 4. With no movement or shooting, we go straight into the assault phase. The Immortals and the Praetor are desperately trying to fend these demons off them, and we'll go straight in initiative 5 with the Praetor. 5 attacks with a Paragon Blade, requiring 3s to hit. That is not bad. 3, and then 3s to wound. That is 2 wounds at AP 2. The demons require a demon save of 5-up, and that is a 5 and a 6, and that is passed. There are 2 Immortals to strike at initiative 4. They require 4s, that is a double 6. 4s to wound, that is again another double 6, unbelievable. They require a 4-up armor save. That is 1 pass, 1 fail, so 1 wound caused. Moving on to initiative 4, we're going to divide the attack, so 2 of those lesser demons are going to attack the Praetor, and they require 4s to hit. That is 1 hit, and 4s to wound, that is nothing. And then the others will go into the Immortals, hitting on 4s, 2 hits, 4s to wound, that is 1 wound, 3-up armor save, passed. Strike at initiative 4, the Winged Demons require 4s to hit with their 12 attacks. That is not too bad. 2, 4, 5 hits. They require 4s to wound. That is not bad with 3 wounds. There is also Shred. Wow, look at that, for a further 2 wounds. 5 in total. Got to do these 2 at a time. Oh, that is unlucky. That is a 2 and a 1. And now we need Feel No Pain, 5+. And it's just not meant to be. Those Immortals have been dragged down in combat. Those wounds will carry over onto the Praetor, and he has a 2-up armor save. Okay, and he's failed 1 and requires a Feel No Pain. And that unfortunately has failed, and the Praetor suffers a wound. Hoping to strike the Praetor down, the brutes come in with 9 attacks. That is a pretty good roll there. There is 2, 5 hits. They are strength 6 and require 2s to wound. 1 cocked dice. Wow, that is really good. That is 5 wounds. 2-up armor save for the Praetor. Oh, there it is. There is a double 1 in there. That is unlucky. Thanks to his Warlord trait, Tenacity, he has a 5-up, Feel No Pain. But it was not enough, and he has failed and has been slain. As the Praetor falls, the 2 Immortals strike at initiative 4 also. They require 4s to hit. They get 1. 4s to wound. That's a wound. The demon is forced onto his armor save of 4+ and has passed. After winning the combat, the brutes consolidate 2 inches, the winged demons 1, and the demons on foot 4 inches. End of turn 4 for the Iron Hands. They held out for as long as possible, but they could not prevent the demons from ripping from the warp into real space and tearing apart the Iron Hands. They will now, after conquering the outpost, move towards a population centre and slaughter the inhabitants. Ouch, that hurt. A wipeout. Do you know what? In a way, I'm glad that happened. I think this game was won and lost on the roll-off, deploy first, go first. I really think the Iron Hands needed that structure to kind of help slow down the demons, but also as well, I split the Iron Hands in half almost. 1 unit one side, and then 2 units or 3 units one side. I think that was the right thing to do because it did divide the demons. But because of the mission we were playing, what it actually did is it divided the demons, which then I didn't think it was that inevitable they were going to get wiped out, but I thought it might hold them up. But if they did kill, they could then consolidate onto my deployment zone, essentially, which is the outer part of that circle. So in the end, even though the demons wiped out, even if it hadn't been a wipeout rather, they still could have consolidated into the objectives, the deployment zone, and scored virtually maximum points there when there was quite a lot of points available. So in a way, I'm glad it happened, because I do believe that some games, and not all games, are lost on that initial deployment. And I said to Andrew after the game, I said, although my head told me to deploy in the structure, I think if I'd had the option, I probably would have deployed on the outside anyway to try and make the game a little bit harder for myself, to try and push into and score the game, because I think it would be a bit more interesting for you guys to watch. In the end, I obviously would have made the wrong decision, and I got wiped out. So, I think next time I'm going to follow my head. Admittedly, I didn't win the roll-off, so it wasn't an option to me, but, you know, I still would have chosen that option, which, lesson learned, that was a bruising defeat. However, there are some really great points to come out from it. The Immortals, as we all know, because obviously they do really well in the Challenge the Channel, which is a game that I designed, they did really well. They held out. That Praetor did a fantastic job. He did have a couple of rounds of combat where he wasn't particularly effective, but insta-killing that Chosen really early on really helped. Admittedly, those Chosen aren't kind of Praetor level, they're more sort of Centurion level. You know, he got quite a few instant deaths on there, so even if Andrew had taken a much larger, more monstrous creature HQ, I think the Praetor still would have done the job. And as I mentioned, the Iron Hands Immortals are fantastic, such a great unit. Andrew did a fantastic job there of locking a unit up in combat and then charging another as they came out the Warp Rift for those winged demons. That's absolutely the way to do it, because if a unit is already locked in combat and they have those breaching shields or they have defensive grenades, they're ineffective, so the unit still gets its +1 for charging. So Andrew did that to great effect, twice in fact, on both sides of the battlefield. So that's a really good little technique there to try and increase your attacks, because Andrew did suffer. He really whiffed early on. It was only towards the sort of end when the Iron Hands saves were really bad, and Andrew started getting more attacks onto the unit, is when the unit started to deplete. So it really helped, I think. It was unfortunate that no combats or no shooting took across the structure, but as I mentioned earlier, I think that was probably the best thing, really, because I think the demons didn't want the Iron Hands in the structure. So I think it would have made it a lot harder for them to get stuck in. So in a way, due to some good rolling on deploy first, go first, my bad decisions, and some great play from Andrew from the Demons, it was an absolute demon win. So really nice little game. I know these 1,000-point games aren't what you want. You want big 2.5, 3K plus games, but just right now it's just impossible to film these. And we filmed this one over the internet, as I mentioned, and it is really painful. So for my sanity, I think that's probably the last one we're going to do. I think I said that in the last video, but I really mean it this time. So next week I'm going to put out some board build videos and some other maybe little projects I've got going on. So maybe we'll do a little bit of that. Hopefully next Tuesday we'll find out if Auckland in particular can go down to the next level, in which Andrew hopefully will be allowed over, and we can start filming some bigger games for you. So please sit tight with us. It is coming. I know I keep saying that, but it is coming. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this small game, and we'll see you in the next one.